Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
So Ryan Reynolds obviously has to be deported back to Canada. Once again, this is a way for the left and the right to come together, because no matter where you stand on the topic of mass deportations of illegals, we can now all agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to...
According to The Streets, Robert Downey Jr. made it apparent that he has no interest in working with Ryan Reynolds because Ryan and Blake attempted to set him up similarly to Justin Baldoni. While it appears that the recent revelations about Hollywood's golden couple may have something to do with it, other celebrities are joining the line and taking turns exposing Ryan and Blake. Even Martha Stewart had something to say about Ryan. Ryan approached RDJ for a cameo, but RDJ saw through the lies and managed to avoid putting himself in danger.
Ask Built members, what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with?
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
And now that RDJ has joined Justin, it appears that Ryan and Blake are really done. What did RDJ say, and does he know something that the rest of us don't know? According to the most recent reports, Ryan approached RDJ when he was compiling the list of actors who could appear in Deadpool 3. Honestly, that makes sense, because screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Warning told people that we had wanted him to do a cameo, and we had written that scene to start with Happy and Downey. Ryan did everything he could to convince RDJ to accept the cameo, even reading him the script, but guess what? RDJ rejected it.
Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds. Making the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Hugh Jackman told Ryan Reynolds in 2021 he'd return as Wolverine after saying 4 years earlier he'd never come back doing the movie Logan. It was one of the most cameo-filled movies in history, where 45 different actors from both the MCU and the Fox universe returned for Deadpool and Wolverine. But one actor Ryan Reynolds asked to return for Deadpool and Wolverine was Robert Downey Jr., saying he wanted him to share a scene with Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau does actually have a very big scene in the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, but that scene was originally written with Robert Downey Jr. taking the main stage and Jon Favreau only being a small part of it. He even wrote the scene in 2018 just so it would make sense for Robert Downey Jr.'s character to be in there, because it does take place before the events of Avengers Infinity War. When Ryan Reynolds approached Robert Downey Jr. with the script, he said he was completely shocked he got an instant no. The reason was Robert Downey Jr. was already in talks to return as Dr. Doom, but he couldn't tell Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds said he didn't know about that until it was revealed, but now is happy for him and said he wants to fight.
The last few months have been eye-opening when it comes to Ryan Reynolds, and the harsh reality is that he's not the nice guy he pretends to be. If you don't believe it, you might want to listen to Candace Owens, who met with a source who revealed that Ryan is actually the one who started the whole Blake and Justin mess in the first place. We wrote scenes, and Downey read them. But we didn't know behind the scenes was this Dr. Doom thing.
Ms. Owens posted to her story saying she spoke to a source that claims Ryan Reynolds is the problem. She said the tip came from someone who allegedly worked on the set and said lately everyone is bashing Blake Lively, but apparently the true villain of the saga is Ryan. This person is alleging that everything started when Ryan Reynolds decided to stroll onto the movie set one day and review the dailies. This is an industry term for all the footage that they filmed for the day. And he also decided to take a look at the script, and between the two, something allegedly set him off. This person claims that the production assistants then overheard Ryan and Blake having an argument in her trailer. Ryan Reynolds started being on the set on a regular basis as if he were her chaperone, and that is when he started inserting himself into the actual production, including writing lines. And then she says the next part was alleged in their lawsuits that Ryan and Blake, perhaps in response to her husband's anger, began inserting themselves in the effort to change lines and change scenes. And of course, the allegation that Ryan Reynolds was making fun of Justin Baldoni in his movie when he played the character Nice Pool. And we did hear this, I believe, from Justin's lawsuit, but correct me if I'm wrong, but she also says that allegedly Ryan presented an ultimatum to WME, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, whose client roster include everyone from Taylor Swift to Justin Baldoni. Basically saying that it's us or him. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what Justin Baldoni also alleged. And I think he said it happened either at the premiere of It Ends With Us or the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, she says we know what happens next. He gets dropped by WME. Wayfarer Studios had effectively been instantly blackballed, persona non grata in Hollywood instantly, and truly they had done nothing wrong but cast a woman into one of their movies with an allegedly very jealous husband. My source says that Justin Baldoni is legitimately a good guy who truly wanted to do this project, but he cares deeply about women issues. And she goes on to give what she believes. She says, I think Blake was fine with everything in the movie she signed on for, hence not requesting an intimacy coordinator, and then all that changed the day her husband showed up on set and allegedly blew a fuse. She also believes that it was probably him that demanded Justin be put in the basement for the premiere.
And no, Candace isn't playing around here because Justin's lawsuit made the same claims. According to the lawsuit, Lively Reynolds and other cast members went to the Deadpool and Wolverine movie's premiere on July 22, 2024. Following the party, Wayfarer was told that Reynolds had spoken to a senior WME executive about his intense dislike for Baldoni, even going so far as to imply that the agency is working with a bleep. To be honest, the fact that Ryan had invited these individuals in the first place raises a number of concerns.
If he wants to go after you, he infests himself into every area of your life. And he did this, Justin Baldoni. He's like, who are your friends? Okay. Who owns the production company? Who owns the next movie script? I am going to infest myself everywhere. I'm going to be doing your movie premiere. I'm going to be doing promos and making fun of you. Right? I'm going to put myself in the end credits. Like, this is like psychotic behavior.
And that's only the beginning. With the recent drama rocking the industry, more and more celebrities are coming out of the shadows because there's no point in hiding when half the truth is known. For example, Martha Stewart recently stated that Ryan is not the funny guy the public believes him to be, so we asked Bill.
We asked Built members what celebrities would be the most fun to hang out with.
He's probably on the list just because he covers himself up in his movies and you don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. No, Taylor, then I would do Snoop, and then I would take Ryan off it, and I would put in somebody else.
I'm so surprised that Ryan Reynolds isn't funny. This is like a shocker to me. I see him
he's a good
walking up
actor.
and down our neighborhood all the time.
He can act funny. But he isn't funny. Maybe he can get to be funny again.
I'm so disappointed, actually.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Now, most folks might think that Martha was simply taking shots at Ryan's sense of humor, but a good part of the internet thinks that Martha hoped people would read between the lines what she really wanted to say was that Ryan's not the nice guy everyone thinks he is, but a psychopath with control issues. And yes, that seems like a stretch, but before you draw any conclusions, you might want to hear from Ryan's co-stars like Marina Baron from the first Deadpool movie. She kind of took a back seat in the franchise after the first movie. And it seemed like Ryan's the one responsible. To be fair, Marina didn't outright point fingers at Ryan. She talked about her absence from the sequel, saying, I can understand that people felt that way, and I certainly was disappointed that I didn't have more to do because I just loved the part so much. But in watching the film and reading the script, it felt like such an emotionally pivotal role in the film, and the entire arc of his character in the film is set into motion because of what happens to my character, that it felt that I was very involved in the movie. Even though I didn't have a lot of scenes, however, insider reports reveal that Ryan actually gave Marina the Justin Baldoni treatment, prohibiting her from going to press conferences and other events.
Breaking news. It's all coming out in the wash. So Blake Lively, what she did to Justin Baldoni, guess what? She learned it from Ryan. Ryan Reynolds did the same thing to Marina, her last name is Baccaron, who also was in Deadpool. You remember when she made Justin Baldoni go sit in the basement with his family for the movie premiere? Ryan Reynolds did the same thing to Marina and her family. He did not allow her to be part of any of the movie's premieres for Deadpool.
The worst part is that Marina was on the verge of having a much larger role in the franchise, but Ryan disagreed with that decision, and he and the director argued about it. Ultimately, Ryan won out, and Marina was relegated to the sidelines.
Then I went and dug a little bit more, and the director of Deadpool, Tim Miller, did this interview and said that he left the Deadpool franchise because of Ryan Reynolds. He said it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in control of the franchise. You can work that way as a director quite successfully, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't win, I don't want to play. And I don't think you can negotiate every creative decision. There's too many to make. So Ryan's the face of the franchise. So if he decides that he wants to control it, then he's going to control it. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
Furthermore, Marina wasn't the only character forced to step back from the franchise due to Ryan Reynolds. For example, T.J. Miller, who portrayed Weasel in the first two Deadpool films, was frequently viewed from the outside looking in, and he claimed that Ryan Reynolds' attitude played a significant role in this back in 2022. Miller revealed on the Adam Carolla Show podcast that his experience working with Reynolds was anything but pleasant. He called Reynolds' behavior as unsettling as the character, saying, "You know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you do just enough exposition so that it's funny. Then we can leave and get back to the real movie. I would not have done Deadpool 3 if they came to me and said, 'We want you to do Deadpool 3 and we're going to pay you twice as much.'" Like most people, Miller wondered why Ryan would treat him so well. But it turns out that fame got to him.
I think after he got super, super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. I think he was like, see, you guys see. And then I think I don't know. I mean, Would I work with him again? No.
No,
I would not work with him.
that
again.
much vitriol.
But I've said that about Michael Bay, and now we're friends, and I would work with him again. But I think Michael Bay is different. And Michael Bay worked on a movie with Ryan Reynolds also. And so he has a very specific opinion
That may mirror
of
your
Ryan
own.
Reynolds. And that was a good part of our last conversation with me and Bay. But I sort of wish him well because he's so good at Deadpool. And I think it's weird that he hates.
Additionally, Miller believed that when you look past the surface, Ryan was just an insecure man who enjoyed disparaging other people.
You felt it coming from him.
Everybody did. That's why it was awkward. Everybody was like, why is Ryan doing this? And the other weird thing is like, maybe he got, I think he's kind of an insecure dude. He's really nice, but I mean, his Twitter bio is showing you the parts of me that tested the best in focus groups.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that he's joking.
So,
I think that might actually be his real sentiment.
And it turns out that it's not just him. His wife, Blake Lively, is also a control freak, according to the streets. If you don't believe that, look at Anna Kendrick. The two of them first dated in 2018 for a small favor, and they recently dated again for the same reason. But fans strongly suspect that Anna didn't want to work with Clip.
Blake, what does it mean to be back with Anna? Oh, it's the best. I'm so happy. Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again? We're talking about you all day. Oh my God. Come on. Get it in something up.
The way Anna sidestepped the question led fans to believe that she wasn't happy working with Blake, which is also what insider reporters have been saying for some time. One source claims that there is a huge pink elephant in the room that no one is acknowledging, and that people are protesting and refusing to watch it. The source also claims that these films are essentially all that Anna and Blake have in common. They have a working relationship, not a close friendship or bond. Last-minute negotiations are taking place with executives because Anna would prefer to keep her distance from Blake moving forward. Originally, the studio requested that the two would do a lot of the promotion together, and Anna and Blake agreed, but Anna could go it alone out of concern that she would become embroiled in the drama. In fact, Anna and the others don't expect any significant level of involvement beyond this. Because she doesn't want to have to sidestep inquiries about Blake's lawsuit or have every interview turn into a heated argument, Anna is willing to handle the promotion duties by herself. V. Baldoni Q&A session. Blake is required to promote the movie, but she is free to choose how involved she wants to be. They are now letting her make the decision, but don't be duped. Anna and Blake are not at odds because she causes too much drama on set. Rather, it's because Blake, like her husband, is a control freak who is determined to bully everyone around her. Since Anna is the biggest star, it makes sense that she would receive more credit than Blake. However, insider sources claim that Blake prevented that from happening, and the poster makes it appear as though the rumors are accurate.
I just noticed something, and I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but I just noticed that for the new A Simple Favor, I've been calling it A Simple Favor 2. It's supposed to be another Simple Favor with starring Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. When I was looking at it, I noticed, and if you look at the poster, Blake Lively's name is like sitting up higher than Anna Kendrick's, but it's like off to the side up high. It doesn't make any sense. It looks so weird, but it's weird. Anna Kendrick's name is first, but then up higher and to the right of it is Blake Lively's name floating above her. And I looked at, they put out several different posters for this new movie coming out. They announced it's being released May 1st, and it's in all of them. So then I went back and looked at all the A Simple Favor movies previously. Not all of them, but the previous one. And it's not like that. It says Anna Kendrick's name first, and then Blake Lively is next. No, I just did a quick search, and Anna Kendrick's movies, the number of movies she's been in, has been 50. Blake Lively, 25. So she's been in half the movies. And gross, Anna Kendrick's movies have made just over $2 billion, and Blake Lively's have made just over $1 billion. Why would her name be up floating higher? I mean, obviously, Anna Kendrick's name should be first. She's the bigger star and always has been and always will be now. But then I'm thinking they can try to say it was something artistic, but if you see it, go look at the poster. It makes no sense at all. Was this a demand of Blake Lively that, Anna Kendrick will get her name first, but then Blake circumvents that? And even though Anna Kendrick's name is first, hers is higher?
Ultimately, it makes sense that RDJ didn't want to associate with Ryan and Blake because they seem like terrible people to work with, but what do you think Ryan's terrible behavior was? Why RDJ rejected him? And how will Ryan Blake recover from this? Please share your thoughts in the space provided below, and don't forget to watch this next video.